What's up, y'all? My name is Joy Christina from the Takeover Club, here to drop another amazing video on you guys. Let me ask you a question. What happens when partnerships go awry? Well, in this next video, Archie Clay, one of the co-founders of the amazing luxury hatwear line WEARBRIMS, who grew to six figures very quickly during the pandemic, dropped some jewels on us. Man, he rose from the ashes from a very public partnership feud that ensued, and he helps us to understand what it really means to be an entrepreneur, how you have to put your all into it, and he helps us to really see that even when dark places occur within your business, there is light and you can rise from the ashes. So please take a moment, like, share, and subscribe, and share with 5 friends. Please help me out here, y'all. I appreciate it. All right, check this one out. Welcome to the Takeover, where we discuss the underbelly of business, its cutthroat nature, and most importantly, we review how important it is to do strategic alliances as well as acquisitions in order to scale your business. My name is Joy Christina, and I absolutely love business. And today, I'm so excited to bring to you a pioneer in the area of cool with the Southern charm. And I would love to introduce to you today Archie Clay, who has created, with a co-founder, WEARBRIMS, with this beautiful hat that I have on right now. So help me in welcoming him to the show.
What's up?
So, WEARBRIMS, is that a WEARBRIM?
No, this is one of my clients, actually.
Okay. what client is it?
It's called Melrose High.
Okay. So that's one of the...
becoming a luxury brand. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So let's just start from the beginning. How did you scale WEARBRIMS to where it is today? Like start me from the very beginning all the way to where we are right now. How did you begin it? What was the idea, the catalyst that brought you to WEARBRIMS? All of that good stuff.
No, for sure. I mean, it essentially started, honestly, back in school. My grandmother passed away from cancer when I was in college. And from that point, it was just me figuring out, okay, my grandmother was someone that was inspiring, motivational, someone that helped people, but didn't have any financial, backing or wealth, right? And I think for me at that time, it just like it kind of changed my psyche and my ethos of who I was. And if you trickleate from there, after I graduated college, went through my career of being working in retail at Target, Burlington, JCPenney's, all these Fortune 500 companies,
yeah, I
wasn't happy. You know what I mean? So for me, it was just like, okay, what can I do? Right. So around probably 2016, I had just ended a relationship with my ex at that time, and kind of not in a good space, trying to figure out what my next phase is, my next steps. And for some reason, I was in an apartment one day on the bed, and I was just like, man, I think I want to do a hat company.
Really? Just that simple?
It was just that simple.
Wow.
And I was just like, don't know much about it. But that's why Google is king.
And YouTube.
Right. So I Googled it and found a manufacturer, reached out to my business partner.
So did you already wear hats like this? Or?
Yeah, I wore a couple hats back in college.
Okay.
Not crazy hats, you know what I mean? But I realized that there was a market for it. I realized that there weren't any black-owned hat companies. Most of the hat companies that you see, even now, like thriving hat companies, Growing Brothers, Bailey's, Stetson's, all these hat companies that have been around since the 1800s.
Wow.
There aren't any black hat companies that have thrived for so long.
Yeah, and then where did the luxury part of it come from?
I think for me, even in the beginning, it wasn't going to be a luxury. It was just going to be a hat company. But for me, it's just like luxury is a feeling. Like luxury is an emotion, right? Luxury is an experience. So it was just like, why not give our customers a luxury experience and also a luxury product?
Okay, so how much does a hat retail for?
That one, ours?
Yeah.
So $250
Okay.
So our price point between $180 and $250.
Yeah, because I definitely dropped $250 on this one.
Right.
Happily, let me tell you.
Happily.
Okay, so you got an idea and it just came to you and you said, you know what, I'm going to start this business. And then what were the steps that you took to actually start to create it and grow and scale it?
I honestly think it was the love and the passion. I think me and my business partner, we were engulfed into the passion of figuring out what does it really take to build a business, right?
At what point did the business partner come?
That came, honestly, it came maybe I literally called him probably maybe a couple of days after the idea came. Talked to my best friend for a second, got some ideas from him, and then I called him because I thought that he was someone that was very fashionable, and thought that he can help create the identity from a fashion component for the business. And from there, we started to play around with fabrics. The first hat we created, which we officially launched in 2017.
Okay.
So we had a 3-piece collection, and one of the main ones that we created was called the Beginning.
And where'd you sell it?
Oh, we sold it online. We didn't have no retailers. We didn't have anything. We sold it online. We sold it out the trunk. I sold it at Marshall's.
Now, that's the piece I wanted you to talk about. You said you sold it out of the trunk.
Yeah, like our e-commerce was up, but most of our sales in 2017 were coming from the trunk. When I say trunk, like I'm going to someone to drop it off.
Yes, exactly.
Like I remember Southside Ken was one of our first customers. So I remember that's when I first met him. So I literally drove all the way to Tucker, and I was living on the west side to drop him off a hat. So we were doing those type of things. Honestly, 2017, a little bit of 2018, and it wasn't a lot of traffic coming to the site. It was really just doing pop-ups. It was really about connecting with the community, right? Yeah. I was in a gathering spot, 8 o'clock on the dot, right before breakfast.
ready to start networking.
every single day, building relationships, connecting with people. That's why we've been able to, that's why where you see now that came from that period where it was hustle. You know what I mean? It was every single day. It wasn't no time where we kind of like just chill.
So when did the bigger retailers come, and how did that happen?
Well, there was a phase before that happened, right?
Okay.
So in 2019, we had our first viral posts.
And what was that?
It was on Facebook.
But what was it?
It was Quintessential Gentlemen. They had a magazine, an article about us, about 2 alpha brothers creating a luxury brand.
Oh, wow.
And it went viral over 100,000 reposts and things of that nature. That was a period where I was like, okay, I think we have something special. Before then was more of a project, right? Figuring out, testing it out, doing little pop-ups, connecting with the village market, being at the gathering spot every day. 2019 comes around, it's like, now people actually know who we are.
Wow. So that was the point when you were like, wow, I'm actually doing this.
Right.
Wow.
That was the point, right? Where it was like, we actually have something special. Now, this is where the business comes into point. This is where, how do we build strategies and how do we implement these strategies to now but scale to the next level? I'm
going to say this. One of your biggest strengths is your ability to execute. Even yesterday when I was sending you the details for today's interview, you were on it, I'm going to send it. Boom, sent it. And I was just like, wow, this guy executes. And I remember we have a mutual friend, and I remember him always talking about how strong you execute and how you just say you're going to do it and you do it.
Right.
I mean, that is admirable. That's a great skill.
It took time. I'll say that. It definitely took time. I guess my fiance would probably say otherwise.
Really?
Right. For little chores and stuff.
I guess
but no, man, I think that I've been through so much, the last couple of years, and just the life of being an entrepreneur, losing my job, having multiple things happen, losing my car. For me, it's there's no other option. Failure is not an option for me. You know what I'm saying? So if there's an opportunity that presents itself to create a narrative or position a narrative for just honestly anything, or an opportunity to tell a story, because at the end of the day, it's about community, right? I'm all about community, right? So being able to gather one person to see a story is better than zero to me.
Do you believe that is the root of your success with WEARBRIMS, is that idea?
Oh yeah, without relationships, we would not be where we are right now. Point blank period. If I wasn't in a gathering spot every single day in 2017, 2016, 19, 20, 21, connecting, relationship building, we wouldn't be where we are right now, because the majority, all the relationships that it was literally a streamlined process. It was gathering a spot, meeting Dr. Key, Village Market. From Village Market, having got more conversations. When she was about to open up the store in Stonecrest, we was a part of that conversation. Then from there, that was building more relationships, right? Relationships.
Yeah.
Like, that's been the pipeline. You know what I mean? Of course, we create dope product. That's who we are, right? But there's a lot of people in the world that create dope product.
For sure.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of creative people in the world that create dope stuff. You know what I mean? Can I curse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like over here like. But no, I feel like a lot of people create dope shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but people got to understand, like, like I said, there's a lot of people in the world that create dope shit, but they just create dope shit.
Yeah, like, where is it? Like, where's it going?
Yeah.
You know?
And I never want to be a person that created dope shit, but then not able to honestly make money off of it. Because at the end of the day, we want to be wealthy, we want to be rich.
I don't care what anybody says. To me, business is about
making money.
It's
Right.
not about anything.
It's
Business
not about
is about
anything
anything
else. It's not about your
Exactly.
emotions. It's not about you looking good on Instagram. It's not about none of this stuff. It's just like, once you figure out a problem and you solve that problem, the goal is to generate money. And you have to do whatever you can to position yourself to get better, to foster making more money.
Exactly. So you got the viral post, and then
So that's when 2020 was that COVID?
2020, yeah.
So 2020 was COVID.
I already forgot COVID.
Right. I think my timeline might be a little off a little bit.
Okay.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. Viral posts, scalability, growing, scaling. Let me fix the timeline. Viral post 2018. Started to scale tremendously in 2019. That's when we did our first 6 figures. 2019, went crazy. Was selling our product like crazy. It was an amazing experience.
Really?
To see an idea go from nothing to actual business.
Yeah.
Right. Then 2020 comes around and COVID hits. That was a very emotional time period for myself, because the goal was to start paying, just us start getting paid.
Yeah.
Right. Then COVID hits. So mind me now.
And you're doing this full time.
I'm full time. So
Okay.
2018 is when I left.
Okay.
Right. To the 19, at the end of that 18 going to 19, I left my corporate job. And 2020 was like, all right, cool. We went crazy in 2019. Now this is the time.
Yeah.
We drop another product, pre-order it, sells out. But soon, like around March, I think it was March,
Yeah.
when COVID hit, and then that's when our manufacturer shut down. Right? So that was a very emotional time period for myself. I can only speak for myself, because I'm full-time, and this is how I was supposed to feed myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now we don't have no product.
Wow.
We got and we have all these orders in that people purchase. Now, not only it's a lot going on. In my head, it's like a lot going on. It's like, first thought, it's like, I'm emotionally drained, because it's like, okay, now I know I'm not gonna be able to pay myself. That's the first thing I'm thinking about. Next thing I'm thinking about is like, dang, we gotta figure out a narrative, because we don't have the product. Now we gotta communicate to the customers that we gotta wait until
they open back up.
So it was just like, it was an emotional time for me. It was just like trying to figure out, like, what do we do? You know? But like you said, like, for me, I've always been someone that you got to pivot. If you truly want to be an entrepreneur, you truly want to be someone that wants to work for yourself. If that's truly what you want to do, you can cry, you can mope a little bit, but you got to pull your shit back up and then get the shit popping.
For sure. So is that the mental?
That was the mental note. So at that moment, it was like, what's the solution?
Yeah.
The solution was, we created this thing called, it's a Brim Up series. So we did a Brim Up series where we just had dope conversations with creatives on Instagram.
Okay.
Right. So not only did that just keep us, relevant, it kept me from going insane. it kept me motivated too, because I'm able to have these conversations with these dope individuals, from celebrities to influencers to entrepreneurs, like this all across the realm. Stylists, like I was talking to all the major stylists that you see right now.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So that was building relationships, right?
Yeah.
And it kept me uplifted, because I was sad. I was really, really sad, because it's like, damn, okay, we just came out a good year last year, 2019. So like, what are we supposed to do? Like,
Yeah.
and honestly, COVID did change the dynamic of the business going forward into the future.
So a lot of Black businesses at the time of COVID really, because at the same time of COVID, there was also the Black Lives Matter that was really going strong, and I know a lot of Black brands were able to really do very well during that time period because people were pouring into businesses. Did you experience that as well?
I mean, that's how we got a Nordstrom's partnership, I would say.
Got you.
Right. So I can't remember exactly when we opened. We had our manufacturers closed for probably like 6 months.
Wow.
It was like damn near.
That is stressful.
Very stressful.
Wow.
So that's when we put out the baseball caps. We started doing the baseball caps because we were able to get those done a little bit more quickly than our manufacturer for our fedoras. And I remember Nordstrom reaching out to us on our Instagram and not knowing if it was fake or not. And then, we had a conversation with them, and we were able to close it, But also,
shout out to Nordstrom's for dropping in your DM. Let me see.
Nordstrom's is
That's
amazing.
the official drop into the DM.
Nordstrom's is an amazing partner. They truly, because side note, so if people might not know that, so I grew up Muslim, right? So my knowledge and my thought process has always been different, right? I'm aware of like being Black, pro-Black, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, like Farrakhan, like all these icons, right? When it comes to pushing us, right? This ain't nothing new. When all that happened, it was nothing new for me, right? I knew that it was going to be for a corporation, it was going to be a place for them to make money.
Yeah.
That's really what it was. As you can see, a lot of people are silent now. A lot of corporations are very, very silent now. But Nordstrom was a partner that wasn't silent and still aren't silent, right? So we're very, very grateful for them and them being a part of our journey and seeing that we have something special to bring to the table.
Okay. Awesome. So you're now, WEARBRIMS was able to get into top retailers like Nordstrom's, Neiman Marcus, and getting into those stores is not something that's easy. Like, people don't just, drop into those. So kudos to you. Thanks. For real on that.
Kudos to the team.
Yeah, for sure. Kudos to the team, all of you guys who work diligently to make that happen.
For sure.
So where is WEARBRIMS right now?
So WEARBRIMS is going through a change right now. Me and my partner, we're now on the same page, and which is okay. Everyone has different perspectives on what life looks like and what business and what being an entrepreneur looks like, and that's perfectly fine. Like, I think my business partner is a very, very talented individual. I think we just have different perspectives, so we are going through a change right now where WEARBRIMS won't be any longer soon.
Really?
Well, I guess when this comes out, maybe not anymore. I don't know how to say it.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
So you're saying that there's some differences of seeing the business between you and your partner, and so you guys are now deciding to go your separate ways.
Yes, correct.
Okay. How is that? Because people don't understand that that businesses, when you get into business, it's important to have an exit plan. Always important to have an exit plan. And that exit plan could be selling the business. It could be, continuing it for a certain amount of time frame. It could be turning into an absentee owner, whatever that is. Right. But when you start the business, it's usually important to have an exit plan. Correct. When you started the business, did you have an exit plan?
We did not have an exit plan.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I think WEARBRIMS was a learning phase for me. And I'm grateful for that phase. I'm very grateful for everything that has happened. Yeah. Honestly, everything, because it's made me, honestly, who I am right now. As I sit here talking with you, it's made me very calm and very confident in my abilities to be motherfucking boss, honestly.
Listen.
You feel me? So
say it one more time for the people in the
motherfucking
back.
Boss, you know? And I think that even through the, disagreements and, and where we are, shit happens. You know what I mean? And I take full responsibility for how I play my role in it. But at the same time, I think it's important that people understand that you have to sacrifice.
Yeah.
You have to sacrifice. It ain't it's not a situation where things just come to you just because you are part of something.
For sure.
Right? I have been emotionally connected to WEARBRIMS for a very, very long time.
That was your baby.
It's my baby. Still is my baby.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting paid. Never complained. I lost my car. I ain't had the money to pay my car note. There's been periods where I didn't have money to pay my rent. I don't. It's not something for me to tell people, but that's just how it truly means to be an entrepreneur. You figure it out. I was promoting parties to kind of just make sure I was able to get a little cash in.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ken. Ken was the first person to give me the opportunity to promote, which I was Rose Bar. Rose Bar was my first promoting opportunity.
Yeah.
Then from Rose Bar, I was at Sweet Lounge. But those opportunities allowed me to align back to the brand because I was using those relationships to foster more relationships.
Yeah.
But I just honestly think that what I'll take away from this situation and what has happened is that people have different understandings of what it truly means to build a business.
For sure. So when, because there was a post that came out where he, shared his viewpoint on it. Yeah. How did that post make you feel?
Pissed, to be honest with you. But, everybody, at the end of the day, you want to make yourself look good. That's just what it is. I didn't speak. I didn't say anything about it. I didn't go on Instagram and say anything. Because at the end of the day, the world knows what I've done for the business. Yeah. And I don't have to tell anybody anything, honestly. If you want to believe that, that's your prerogative at the end of the day. Yeah. I ain't got shit to do with that. That's his voice. He can speak that voice. If that's what he wants to say and wants to reflect, then by all means. But I guarantee this, the future will show. Yeah. The future will always show.
Yeah, I mean, you're a talented brother. Let me tell you, you're very talented. Like I said, you execute. I mean, you may think otherwise, but you definitely execute. And I
know I execute. I said my fiance may think otherwise.
Okay. So what's next for you, though? What do you see the next 5 years looking like for you?
Man, so a lot of people don't know that this journey of me and my business partner splitting opened up not another passion, a passion that was already inside me. So my father had a mental breakdown when I was 3. I don't talk about this story because in the past it's maybe very emotional, but I'm very, very confident with this, and it's a part of who I am. It's honestly why I was honestly able to be where I am right now. Yeah. My father had a mental breakdown when I was 3. He walked down on me and my mom when I was 3 years old. It kind of been in and out of my life since I was 3. Don't currently have a relationship with him. Dad is in chat right now. But it's always been something that was always kind of looming over me. And during this process, I took it upon myself to say, I got to get locked into my faith. Like I have to. Wow. Because I don't want to end up like my dad. Because my dad was in the Nation of Islam. And because he had so much pressures and stuff, he couldn't handle it. And it's kind of a similar situation. And this pressure of splitting with my business partner and all this stuff going on right now is that I had to truly, and honestly, that's why things went down the way I had to choose myself. Yeah. I had to choose myself. And no one, maybe they won't understand that, but I had to choose myself because I just know where my family comes from and my dynamic comes from. So for me, it was just like in this time period, I had to really focus on my faith and focus on that trauma. And me focusing on my trauma had me realize, like, going back to the things my mom used to say, is like my mom was always tell me is that you're very powerful in yourself and very confident individual. Even when I was 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, like she would always tell me those type of things, right? My mom was very, very motivational, like in everything that I did. But when I used to like spaz out and do certain things, she would say like, it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be emotional, but you still got to pull your shit up at the end of the day. Yeah. Like you can't just be stuck in that energy. because it'll put you in the same energy your father was in. You know what I'm saying? So I had to literally had a conversation with her about this, because I was just like, man, like, I'm in a situation now where my shit could have went completely left. Because, like, people don't understand, like, WEARBRIMS is not a project. WEARBRIMS is how I made money.
Exactly. That's
I got paid off of WEARBRIMS. Like, that was my livelihood. So that happening, I was confused. I was like, dang, like, what? I've sacrificed so much. Like, what am I supposed to do now? But me locking into my faith and my mind, honestly, it made me realize I have a different passion and a different purpose.
Yeah.
And my purpose is to get people to understand that regardless of how much money you got in the world, if your faith ain't locked in and your passion is not locked in and you don't have a mindset or understanding who you truly are, all that money don't even matter. Because when you see people that got money and ain't happy, but I think you can be happy and be rich as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's gonna happen.
Right. I think you can be happy but rich as fuck. But I think the foundation is your faith and your mind.
Yeah.
So for me, the next phase, so I created a company, a parent company called Rosetta Capital Group, which is catered towards my grandmother about 2 years ago. And the purpose for that was to curate dope events, of course, own fashion brands, and just do dope stuff for the community. So I'm working on a philanthropic platform called Brain Love. Well, Brain Love will be a platform catered to getting people to understand that as you evolve and as you grow, you have to understand that your faith and your mind is the most important thing to get into the next level.
Amen.
Right? Regardless of what phase you are in your life. Right? If you're trying to get to the bag or you're at the mill, you want to get to 10 mil, that never changes. It never changes, right? So for me, it's like I want to be a foster in that. So what we're going to do, we're going to be partnering up with a nonprofit where we're going to be curating programs that align people to understand that mental health and mindset and faith is all connected.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm working with a high school to curate a brain love ideation think tank. So what that does is it allows students to be free to think differently and curate ideas.
Wow.
And not be judged. Like, it's not a grade, right? We just want you to curate and get you to understand how to formalize the idea and build a strategy around it. So when you get to the point where you feel like this idea may be dope, or you may want to create another idea, you can use a similar format and use it to actually build your company out in the future.
Wow, that is amazing.
Appreciate it.
First of all, but I have to say, the roller coasters of entrepreneurship, you just took us on a journey of, right. Starting, growing. Woo! I'm at the top of the roller coaster, and then, something traumatic occurring. And then out of the ashes came such an amazing, inspirational next step that is going to change millions of lives. I believe it's going to change millions of lives.
Oh yeah, that's the whole purpose. Like, we ain't thinking small.
Yeah. Like,
we're not thinking small. Like, what I realize is that you got to dream big. You know what I'm saying? I got a note with all my dreams. My big dream. I want to be a billionaire. I want to create a nonprofit. I want to change people's lives. I want to buy my mama a car. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of car?
Whatever she want. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that my fiance, my future wife, doesn't have to worry about anything in her life. Like, my little niece, Malaya, like, I want her to be able to do whatever she wants to do. Like, it's bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's truly bigger than me, and what I've been through can only help other people and get you to understand, like, shit happen, bro. Like, you either got to pivot or you go back to your corporate job and you work a corporate job. Ain't nothing wrong with that shit, but you can't, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you can't be wimping and whining and shit. Like, you got to pull your shit up and do it and then keep going. Like, it ain't nothing else to say. You feel me? So it's like, I think that's my East Atlanta side of me, is where it's like coming from, like, I wasn't rich, like, I wasn't middle class, like, we was poor. You know what I mean? Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Did I have the want for shit? No. But, like, we didn't have the same money everybody else has. But that thought process and that psyche is always with you. That hustle, that grind. Like, I was selling final calls on the corner when I was 5.
Wow.
So I've been a hustler. I've been doing this.
And so it's in you.
It's been in me. You know what I mean? So.
Well, as we kind of wrap up this interview, just drop a couple gems on us. And when you drop the gems, just make sure you say, like, you know, in its totality.
Right,
so we can.
right. I mean, there's, of course, there can be so many gems to be dropped, but
Yeah.
none of this shit matters if your mind ain't together. Honestly, I just really been focused on that. It's just like people have this thought process of entrepreneurship, and they think that once you get in it because everybody else is doing it, that you don't got to put work into it. Right? I think it's very important to people to understand that the entrepreneur mindset can be used in so many ways, and you don't even have to be an entrepreneur. Like, I think that we should break that down more and put it in our schools, put it in middle school, put it in elementary, put it in high school, in college especially, to give people the thought process of what it means to be an entrepreneur. Because all it is hustle.
For sure.
It's hustle and strategy, right? And that's hustle in life. That's hustle and strategy in your corporate life. It all aligns, right? And I think that if you truly want to be rich or wealthy, you're going to go through different shits that's going to test you. God tested me. He been testing me for the last 6 years. I could have been folded. I could have folded back in COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's being confident in yourself to say that you can do it, but also holding yourself accountable to say, yo, I know I can do it, but what I'm going to do to get to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What steps I'm going to take to get to the next level. How am I going to be great? People want to say, oh, I want to be Kanye. I want to be Jay-Z. I want to be Michael Jordan. Like, but have you actually researched them?
Yeah.
Do you understand what they do and what they sacrifice?
To get where they are.
To get to where you are?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be a billionaire, that's sacrifice. Like, you don't have a perfect life. You can't sleep for 8 hours or 9 hours.
Yeah.
Even if you do sleep for 8 hours, you might not be going to sleep to 3. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what sacrifice are you going to take? If you got a company, you got to eventually go full time. You're not getting no investment dollars out there if you ain't putting in the work that you say you put in the work. People have this thought process of like, oh, it's just free, it's just easy.
Yeah.
This shit ain't easy.
That's nothing but the lie from the
This
pit of
shit-
hell.
this
Let
shit
me
ain't-
tell you,
listen,
because this is not easy.
It's not easy, and it's not to scare anybody,
not
but it's
easy.
just real truth. It's just like,
Yeah.
stop. People need to stop faking like this shit is easy. Like, it's not.
It's not.
It's not at all. And I don't want people to think that just because you think you could be an entrepreneur, not everybody can be an entrepreneur. It ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
If that's not what you want to do, take your ass to corporate and make good money.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
okay. And you can do real estate on the side. You can do anything. But like, if you're going to really go into the entrepreneurship lifestyle, put in your all. Pour the whole bucket in there. And I promise you, well, before you pour the whole bucket, make sure the idea is fire too. I think we gotta make sure that the pieces together first is that you gotta make sure your idea is solid first. Yeah. And then if you got a solid idea, pour the water in there.
Yeah.
And swim in that shit.
Pour the water in there.
Pour the water in and swim in it.
Okay.
Swallow it, take the salt, drown in it, come back up, like
go in
deep, you know, and I guarantee you'll get something from it. You may not make a lot of money, but you're at least, grab a lot of knowledge that will help you in the future.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show today.
For sure.
I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. It means a lot to me.
It's just the first time I talked about this too, Ashley.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've already talked about this.
Okay. So you hear it first.
You're right, got it first.
You hear it first on the takeover.
I gave it a little bit. I ain't giving it everything. It is what, and life. It's life, and it is what it is. People need to understand what truly happens, and things happen in business, and it's okay.
Yeah, for sure. So, again, thank you so much for coming on this show. This is the Takeover. Right now, I'm wearing WEARBRIMS. It's been seen on Carrie Hilson and people like that. So I know I'm looking extra fly. And share with us any kind of handles or any kind of where they can find you, follow you, see your next project, all that good stuff.
I mean, yeah, of course, you can follow me at Archie Clay III on all platforms. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
So it's Archie Clay.
Archie Clay, so ArchieClayThe 3RD.
All right.
Spelled all out. So, but a lot of projects coming soon. Got a couple clients that I'm working with now. It's Freshly, which is a premium cocktail in a can. We got Mero Size, one of the craziest hat pearl luxury brands right out now. We've been on Lil Durk, Future, 2 Chainz, Hit Boy.
Wow.
You see the crystals on my head.
Yeah.
It's called the Crowns of Cairo. You know what I'm saying? So we going crazy. So that's one of my clients.
And then I may work with you.
You know, hey. And then we got a luxury shoe brand called Maddox & Co. So for me, it's like, it's just helping, man. Helping people, taking my skills and allowing people to figure out a way how they scale and how to build networks and how to build communities.
For sure. Well, thank you so much.
For
and
sure.
If you guys could share this with 5 of your friends, just go take the link, share it to them, show some love. We appreciate you. This is The Takeover. I'm Joy Christina. I appreciate you. Thank you.
We are.